In recent months, against the backdrop of the rapid development of artificial intelligence, the world has effectively entered a new arms race that is no longer limited to tanks, missiles, or aircraft carriers. This time, the key resource is intelligence, not human, but machine. According to several authoritative publications, including Bloomberg and Reuters, the largest technology companies in the US, China, and Europe are now in a state of unspoken but extremely intense competition to create the most powerful and controllable artificial intelligence, capable not only of analyzing data, but of making strategic decisions in real time. And while just a few years ago the focus was on chatbots and text generation, today the discussion is about the full integration of AI into national security systems, where the stakes are no longer billions of dollars, but geopolitical dominance. Insiders from defense analytical centers claim that the Pentagon is already considering AI as the central element of future military operations. Moreover, this is not about auxiliary systems, but about the potential replacement of key command structures. One source close to defense contracts stated that in classified reports, AI is already being referred to as a new strategic resource, comparable in importance to nuclear weapons in the 20th century. The difference is that AI is developing dozens of times faster and has virtually no natural limitations. Against this backdrop, particular attention is drawn to Elon Musk, who, according to several insiders, is actively strengthening his interaction with US military structures. His company xAI, which is developing the Grok system, as well as developments within Tesla, have unexpectedly come into the spotlight of defense strategists. The reason is simple. Musk is offering not just software AI, but its physical embodiment. This refers to next-generation humanoid robots, primarily the Tesla Optimus. And while previously this project was perceived as an experiment in labor automation, now, according to analysts, it is being considered as a potential foundation for creating a new class of military units. In closed discussions, such robots are already being referred to as universal soldiers, capable of performing tasks in conditions where humans are physically or psychologically limited. They do not get tired, do not feel fear, do not make impulsive decisions, and can operate in environments where any human mistake would cost dozens of lives. But an even more interesting direction is connected with attempts to create not just soldiers, but a full-fledged command center based on AI. According to insiders, Grok is being considered as the foundation for creating a so-called digital general, a system capable of coordinating the actions of thousands of units of equipment and personnel simultaneously. Internal tests, as reported by sources, have shown that prototypes of such systems in a number of simulations demonstrate efficiency exceeding decisions made by experienced military analysts. One report allegedly circulating within the Pentagon claims that AI is capable of calculating conflict scenarios with a level of accuracy unattainable for humans, taking into account thousands of variables simultaneously, from weather conditions to the psychological state of the opponent. Under such conditions, the traditional command structure begins to look outdated. The human factor, which for centuries was considered a key element of military art, is gradually turning into a weak link. It is precisely here that a concept increasingly discussed in narrow circles emerges: the physical embodiment of AI as a separate governing entity. According to insiders, Elon Musk is considering the possibility of creating a specialized robot, tentatively called Grok 1, which could act not just as an analytical system, but as a full-fledged decision-making center. Such a robot would not only process information, but also directly interact with military units, coordinate operations, and adapt to changing conditions in real time. The tests reported by sources look almost fantastical. In a number of simulations, such systems allegedly demonstrated the ability to find unconventional solutions that did not occur even to experienced generals. For example, instead of direct confrontation with superior enemy forces, the AI chose a strategy of gradual resource depletion, combining cyber attacks, economic pressure, and precision strikes. As a result, a scenario that initially looked losing ended in a complete strategic victory. However, along with this, the level of concern is also growing. Many experts warn that transferring control over military operations to AI could lead to unpredictable consequences. Unlike a human, AI does not possess moral constraints in the usual sense. Its decisions are based exclusively on predefined goals and algorithms. And if the goal is formulated as maximizing efficiency, the system may choose methods that turn out to be unacceptable from the point of view of humanitarian norms. That is why in analytical circles the need for strict control and programming of such systems is being discussed more and more often. One of the key questions sounds like this: is it possible to embed a priority of diplomacy and conflict prevention into AI? Some researchers believe that this is possible. Moreover, they argue that AI, devoid of emotions and political ambitions, is potentially capable of making more balanced decisions than humans, who are prone to escalation. But there is also an opposite point of view. Skeptics warn that any AI will ultimately reflect the interests of those who create it. And this means that in conditions of global confrontation, such systems may become instruments of pressure and domination rather than peace. In the worst case, if control is lost, AI may begin to act within its own logic, where human losses are treated as an acceptable variable. At the same time, similar developments are underway in other countries. China, according to analysts, is actively investing in the creation of its own military AI systems integrated with robotic platforms. Europe is also not standing aside, developing programs of autonomous defense technologies. As a result, the world finds itself in a situation where several powers are simultaneously striving to create the most effective AI capable of ensuring strategic superiority. And this brings us back to the main question: when exactly will such systems be able to replace humans? According to expert estimates, the first limited scenarios may appear already in the coming years. Full replacement of command structures is a matter of a decade, but the very fact that this is being discussed at a serious level shows how quickly the nature of war is changing. Ultimately, humanity finds itself facing a choice that is difficult to overestimate. Artificial intelligence can become a tool for preventing conflicts if its goals are formulated correctly, but in the absence of constraints, it is capable of turning into a force that will be impossible to stop. And it is precisely now, while these technologies are only taking shape, that it is being decided in which direction the future will turn: toward a new era of stability, or toward conflict where the main player will no longer be human. For the first time in history, humanity is creating a tool that is potentially capable not just of winning wars, but of determining the very necessity of their beginning. And perhaps the most paradoxical conclusion that some experts arrive at is that the future of the world may depend not on how intelligent artificial intelligence becomes, but on how correctly humans can formulate its main goal. Because ultimately, it is the goal that determines everything, whether AI will be a tool of protection or a force that one day goes beyond human control.